Hi, cherry pies. I am back. Today I want to talk about Carly. I feel like ain't shit wrong with Carly. Like, she had therapy, she had money, she had summer camp, she had band. Carly had a lot of outlets. She had psychiatrists, she had supportive family, as far as we know. Her mom was a teacher, and one of her friends basically went to her mom and told her, hey, Carly's been cheating on tests, she has a burner phone, and she's smoking vapes, and she's smoking weed. So at this point, Carly's mom had to confiscate these things from her. I'm assuming took the burner phone, took the vapes and everything. And I think somewhere in there they were saying that Carly was talking to some guy. We don't know anything about that. There was some guy she had to cut off, and we don't know if this was maybe an older guy getting her the vapes and the weed and everything like that. I think it says a lot that Carly's friend would tell her mom, and I think that that's pretty indicative of the fact that Carly was just thrown off as hell. Like, that's clearly what it is. I see a lot of people trying to make this correlation of it was the stepfather. There has to be something going on with the stepfather, and this is why this happened to Carly. I don't get that feeling. I'm not getting that feeling. I mean, there are some bits and pieces where I feel like he definitely played a role in what happened, and him and Carly had a different relationship. But I'm not getting this sinister idea that they planned to do this together. Okay. And I'm going to get into all the details and what I saw from the court case, and we'll see. We'll see if y'all agree with me. I think the Carly case really highlights how the glorification of white evil encourages white evil. Point blank, period. I don't think there was shit wrong with Carly. You feel me? I feel like she had therapy, mental health, pets. They were trying to help her. If she could talk to herself through her journal and write all of that and plan all of that, it's because white evil has been glorified, right? It's always sexy and hot and intriguing. It's always a movie and a big deal when white people do criminal activities. I believe that she truly thought that she would have the Gypsy Rose experience. Like, she knew she would get caught. She knew we would read her journal, but she left that journal as guidelines to her Hulu docuseries. You know what I'm saying? Like, she left that journal to kind of control the narrative of what happened, of what she was planning to do. It was premeditated. She walked in the house. She knew where the weapon was. But like I say, everybody knew Carly was thrown off except for the mama. And to me, that is what all the court footage is showing me. I know a lot of people was like, well, like, damn, did nobody like the mama? Did nobody like the mama? Maybe nobody did like the mama. That don't mean they conspired to hurt her. But you got to think family probably remembers Carly as this sweet girl before she started acting and deciding that the way she wanted to get attention is by being the villain, that she wanted to go the Gypsy Rose route, do a couple years, because she denied a 40-year plea deal and got 2 life sentences. So she thought she would just serve her little time, maybe get parole, and she would get out and be a-okay, baby, after taking out her mama. Child, I don't know if the lack of emotion from the stepfather, from the grandparents and everything. I feel like it's all just to not trigger Carly. I believe that everybody knows she's thrown off, and I believe that everybody assumed that something like this would happen. I don't think Carly's family members or anybody is truly shocked by what Carly did. You know what I'm saying? Like, she texts her friends, "You want to see a dead body?" Like, just proof and evidence, and it just doesn't make me think that this little girl is smart enough to hide or cover up anything she might have had going on with her stepfather. If you're calling your friends to come see this dead body, You will also call the person who influenced you to come see that body. Like if there was some outside boyfriend driving her crazy, if there was a nick in the situation, she could gaslight and twist this all onto. There's nobody for Carly to twist this onto. I think everybody just knew she was thrown off, and I think her mom didn't take it seriously. I think that she was wearing like that schoolgirl uniform. She was banking on that youngness and that same innocence that Gypsy Rose kind of had to portray to the world. But I don't know. I think that maybe she was encouraged in some way, but I think that her deciding to hurt her mother was just her wanting to be a part of the glorification of white people. Like, white violence is glorified and it's an endless cycle. It's sexy, it's hot, and black violence is condemned. And not even black violence, but anything black people do wrong is condemned. Meanwhile, white kids is out here killing their mama and getting whole movies. Um, but like Carly Russell, y'all was so mad at Carly Russell just because she snapped one day and her man ain't text her back and she decided to see a fake baby on the highway and kidnap herself and leave her wig out there. Y'all was mad at that girl for staging a kidnapping. She ain't really kidnapped nobody. Her only crime is being a liar. That's it. And people lie every day. Y'all mad because she lied to the police? It, it's not like the police doing shit anyway. When the last time the police got to you on time and saved your life about anything? Her ass very well could have been on that damn highway getting kidnapped. But who would have known? Whether it was true or not, talking about wasting the police time, she was just testing the police. She was trying to see if they was on their P's and Q's, if they could solve a case. That's what she was trying to see. But y'all hated Carly. And I mean y'all drug Carly for a year. This Carly, white girl Carly, this gonna blow over. We ain't gonna hear shit about her. Y'all not gonna be in an uproar or talking about her in that light. Everything we hear about her right now is because is glorified white violence, is sensationalized. People are questioning it. But she didn't do it. She didn't use her white innocence card correctly. And she also, I mean, she's only 15, she's a child. So there's no type of, she's not cute. She's not a cute or adorable child. She looks like an angsty, vape smoking, dirty, bad haircut teenager. Only way I could describe her, right? So it's not like she's some cute little white girl who I can sympathize for and I could truly say, oh, something had to happen to her. There's a sadness in her eyes. No, this bitch is in court drinking Coke. And I mean throwing the shit back, drinking cold soda pop in court. I ain't never seen nobody drink a cold soda pop in court. What, girl? Oh no, baby. Yeah. Yeah, you wanted to take that lady out. And you just a mean, evil little girl. Like, she's not able to sell this story at all to nobody. Not even to the people not paying attention to the case. Not even to the people not paying attention to the case can she convince us that she has any remorse or sadness. And then also on the police body cam footage, even Gypsy knew to fake cry and act like, oh, my mom's, oh, what happened to my mom? Oh, bitch, you was there. You heard your mama get murked. Carly, they pulled up. She said, oh, is my stepdad okay? I know my mama gone. What about stepdad? Because I tried to get him, but there was no passion in her violence against the stepdad, which is also why it makes me feel like it really wasn't that deep between them, or this whole scenario y'all trying to paint, because him jumping to get the gun from her lets me know that he was more passionate about his wife, and in that moment he saw her, he knew she was gone, and whatever. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even gonna lie, they all weird. I think they was just one big ass weird ass family. I ain't even gonna lie. And I don't know what they had going on, but they all was a little thrown off. Because then he was laying on the porch. Baby, I don't do cold cases. I don't. I just wanted to use Carly's case to speak on the glorification of white evil. And I don't have that much time, but I just feel like I had to upload what I did want to tie the glorification of white evil into when I was just saying how we condemn and punish our Carly, who was just on the highway and got fake kidnapped, while the other Carly's people are literally in court saying, I love you, it'll be okay. Yeah, you just killed your mama, but I love you, it'll be okay. Like, the difference in that is that black people always have to be the bigger person. I always encourage black people to be evil and to do what they feel they need to do, because y'all know I feel like no matter how evil black people get, we will never even begin to touch the iceberg of the evilness that white people have been able to commit for generations. And I also speak on this too of just in reference to me, I know that I have the capability to be evil, something my mom does not have, because my mom's side of the family really didn't descend from slavery. They don't really have like any white ancestors, right? Versus my dad's side, I know exactly how it played out. You know what I'm saying? I know what happened to my great 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 grandma. I know that one of my great 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 grandfathers was a plantation owner. I know my grandma got assaulted, and I know that she had a biracial son, and then she will only date, by the time she got her freedom, she will only sleep with very, 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 very dark black men because she was so traumatized from what great 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 grandfather did to her. So I have that evilness in me. The same blood and the strength and resilience of blackness and the compassion and the, oh, I will never inflict this. I have that, but I also know when to tap into that, like, well, bitch, I done had these slaves about 200 years. They've been in my family for a long time, and I will whoop your ass. Like, tapping into that evilness to get ahead and to use it for what's right. I'm not going to go enslave anybody, but will I lie on my resume? Will I steal a plot of land and forge some paperwork to get ahead? Will I lie and connive and steal and plot? Yes, I will. That is a skill. That is a skill that I have been gifted by my white ancestors, and I take advantage of it. Um, them putting their babies on our breasts, them shoving the Bible in our face, them not allowing us to read, but making sure that we were in church every day and at least one of us could read and brainwash us with the Bible. All of these things, them hurting our loved ones when we did try to get freedom or rebel. They wouldn't hurt us, then it would be okay, well, that's gonna be your baby ass, your baby daddy ass. Somebody gonna get fucked up about this. It might be your mama. I might make you go sleep with your mama. I might take your son and I might bend him over in front of the whole plantation and literally rape your son in front of the plantation if you don't come in here and sleep with me. It's natural to white people, right? It's in their nature. It was an everyday thing to them. Oh, let's skin these mother effers and eat them. Let's throw their babies to the gators. Everyday things to them. And they're not desensitized to it. It's their culture. Black people, we never got desensitized to the violence of the slave trade. We never got desensitized to it because it's in our blood and it's in your DNA. Your history is in your DNA. You can feel it. And that's for both races. So just like how white people, you'll see white families with little kids, like 2, 3 years old, and they're at MMA fights and they're at WWE and they're at boxing and fighting matches. They It's in their blood, it's in their DNA. They're, as soon as they're born, they like violence and it's fun for them. Um, but with black people, it's a side that they repressed in us. It's just not natural to us, right? But I wish that it would come a little more naturally to us because I feel like we would be more protected. I do feel like we should be feared. This idea that we're such scary people when we're not the ones going and shooting up schoolhouses is crazy. Um, it's crazy. We're not that damn scary. we're not that damn scary. If a black person has never walked into a fucking elementary school and just shot a bunch of kids, we're not that scary. And white people, y'all seem to be doing that at every age, as young as 9, as old as damn 80. Y'all love to sit up outside of school or university and walk in and start shooting and killing kids like they did something to you. Y'all love to spread mass hysteria, mass pain, mass violence. When black violence happens, it's from passion, desperation, from learned behaviors, from desensitization to who we truly are. And that's how I feel. They make us feel guilty. If we did think, okay, I'm gonna steal, me and my baby, we ain't ate in 10 days, whether on the plantation or right in the projects, right in the hood. 10 days is extreme, but me and my baby ain't ate, and I have to feed my baby. Whether I decide, oh well, I'm gonna go in the kitchen and I'm gonna take an extra piece of bread out of master house and risk suffering the consequences, or whether I'm thinking, oh, I gotta go to Food Lion and steal me a pack of bread and some diapers, there is going to be a guilt, a stigma, all of that associated. We will never think of it, right, as, oh, it's my reparations. They owe this. I've been working for this. I could get this little bread, right? That entitlement, we aren't used to it. I am. I'm always entitled. I don't feel bad about getting the things that I need. And it's not even a color thing. It's really just about like knowing that there is enough for everyone. So there's always enough for everyone. And that's just a whole little mindset hack that I use. That's why I stay with money and I ain't working forever. And life is always good for me because I know that there's enough for everyone. So I don't take from people without expecting to lose. So let's say I lose $300. Like I just lose my wallet. Somebody would crash out about that, not me. I literally, when I lose money, if I lose a gold chain, if I lose my favorite ring, or if I lose a phone, I don't give a fuck what it is. I always be like, oh, somebody needed that more than me right now. It was my turn to be a blessing to somebody. I never look at me losing anything as, oh, that was something I had to have, or no, I always think like it's in a better place or it'll turn up. It's one or the other. The fairies came and took it. The little trolls who be playing, maybe they took it and they playing a joke on me, or maybe God had to take that from me and place it to be for someone else. So that's kind of like how both sides of my ancestry works. Like I know how to, bitch, if I'm in Walmart, I'm not paying for all this shit. Yes, I am gonna steal. Cause this shit is owned by some rich motherfucker. I don't care who they are, but they have more than enough. They're jacking up prices. This shit ain't even quality. Bitch, please, I'm about to steal. You got insurance, I don't. You're gonna eat regardless. I might not. I don't feel no guilt about that. I'm gonna take it. Okay. And if I had to hurt somebody to take it, then at that point, then I just have to hurt their ass. But that's not my black side who's just so quick to jump to violence. I feel like my black side is very much so peace, calm, understanding. Why did they do that to you? It's the side y'all pretty much fell in love with. Y'all laugh at the evil kind of split thing that I do of like sometimes I do be serious with y'all and I show my compassion. But most of the time, out of protection and because I feel like so many people are activists and good people, I don't feel the need to squeeze myself into the box of being a good person. I could literally just be me, which I think is a privilege that white people have as soon as they're born. Like they're not being forced to say, "Oh, you have to be a good little black girl because if you're too loud, if you're too this, they're going to think you're ghetto. If you're too this, they're going to do it. If you're this, if you're too dark, you're ugly." White people aren't born in those boxes. Like when white kids aren't born, nobody's coming around them like, "Oh, your baby bald head. You need to put some weave in her hair. You need to start cornrow." No, it's just a bald little white baby. Nobody cares if it's a boy or a girl. They're not getting their ears pierced to prove like, "Oh, this is my daughter. It's not a little boy. I don't have to fight the masculine stereotypes they place on black girls soon as I'm born." Um it's insane really, but they're not even born into the same matrix, into the same rules and regulations that we are. So it starts very young. They are born with the freedom to roam and explore and shape society how they feel. And black girls and black boys are born into little boxes of, if you are not this perfect little Negro in this box, straight A's, straight hair, white shoes, clean uniform, you know how to listen, you're quiet in public. When I tell you to sit down, you sit down. Meanwhile, the white kids in the play area going crazy. We're in the doctor's office, right? They got the play area so the kids can go crazy. You got your baby sitting down, they can't even play. White kids flipping and going crazy, but it's also because we know that once we let our child get up, see, is that protection? We know that once we let our child get up and do the same thing those white kids doing, that's when all of a sudden the secretary gonna get up and come from around the desk and say, "Oh, it's a lot going on out here." That's when all of a sudden it's too rowdy and it's a problem, and these kids are bad. As soon as the black child begins to do the same things, that's when everybody's gonna have a side eye of like, "Oh, okay, first it was kids being kids, but your your little child who we don't see as human, we still see as property, as they should be seen and not heard, which is slavery. You want your slaves to be seen and not heard. You want them to stand by the table and be seen and not heard, but they need to be watching to make sure you don't need anything, right? Same thing. You want those little black children to be seen and not heard, to sit there and to know their place among the white children. And that is how society begins to be shaped of who dominates the culture. I remember even being in elementary school, for me, that white violence was still being glorified and that I could never retaliate. I remember a little white boy destroying my Titanic replica that I made out of shoe boxes, and it was huge. I mean, I had like 15 shoe boxes, and I'm in the second grade, and I made a Titanic replica. So I have the bottom of the ship, the middle of the ship, the top, like every part of the ship I done broke down. We got the engine room, we got the, and I done made notes about what is the what you do in each room and what was happening. He was jealous, and he came and he kicked my shit and stomped it into the ground. Now I could have whooped his little white ass, but violence is not in my nature. What is in my nature is being sensitive. In that moment, I held back my tears. I did not cry. I got up and I did what I was taught to do, right? Go tell the teacher. I told the teacher, and she said, "Well, boys will be boys." That bitch ain't give a damn. She didn't try to help me rebuild my shit. She just immediately excused the white violence. And what I'm leaving out is that I was the only black child in this entire school. And that is not an exaggeration. I'm not saying it was two or three of us. No. Anderson, South Carolina, I was the only black child in Concord Elementary, Anderson, South Carolina. I ain't see no biracials. I ain't see nothing. I was the only black child, okay? So it definitely, that is definitely when I realized that I was black and I was being treated differently. In second grade, too, is when white kids began to tell me that I was black. It was no emphasis on me being black. And I think because it was second grade and I was so young, my mother had not begun to introduce slavery or blackness or pride in my blackness yet. She just was excited to have like a smart little black daughter who loved reading Harry Potter, who just loved reading and going to the library, and had a passion and a thirst for writing and literature and life. She was so proud of that. But I remember after my second grade year, I had so many racist problems and just violent attacks from white kids. Like I would come down the slide, they would put sand in my mouth, and once again, oh, it's just them. Um, I would catch a frog and I would go walk home and leave the frog outside in a little bowl or something so it wouldn't escape, and they would come and step on my frog, like just leave a dead, smashed up frog outside my door when I had to go inside and eat dinner. Oh, it's just like it's. And they would do all of that. And then you would tell their moms or tell their parents, "Oh, it's no issue." And they would still invite my little black ass to every birthday party, to every event, to everything, because I was there to be terrorized, pretty much. I was there as somebody they could get away with terrorizing too. Because yeah, boys are taught to be violent, but they were not shoving sand in white girls' mouths. They're not stumping down white girls' projects and homeworks. No, that was specifically for me. I remember being lied on a lot too. Like in the cafeteria, I leaned down one day to like itch my foot. So I had my hand on the wall and I accidentally cut off the light and I cut it right back on. It's elementary school though. The lights go off. What do kids do? They scream. So I remember that happened and my teacher came over and she was like, "Oh, what happened?" And I said, "Oh, it was just an accident." Okay, my teacher was like, "Okay, that's fine." So then we were leaving the cafeteria. She came up to me again. She literally pulled me out of line before we could even get back to the class in front of everybody. So she made a spectacle of me in front of everybody coming out of the cafeteria and in front of all the other educators and whichever educator came up to her. But she was like, "Oh, well, Miss So and so says that she was watching you and she saw you cut that light off on purpose. So I'm going to put you on a red face." I burst into tears. I'm getting put on red. Like, that is one thing to be terrorized and bullied, right? And to be lied on. But to suffer consequences for something that I know I didn't do, that's when it was like, damn, I am black as fuck. And this is going to be a hard life for me. And I will never get away with anything. And even adults went out of their way to be evil towards me. Like, some random white fucking teacher just flat out lied on me and said that I was standing over there and I purposely just reached up and cut off the lights. I thought it was so funny. Like, and what threw me with all of these things too is that I didn't have a history of being bad or causing trouble. So they just wanted to punish me. They just wanted to punish me for being smart and black, young and gifted and black. And that's how it felt. So you learn from a young age that the world is shaped to where we'll never have the freedom to be bad. We'll never get rewarded for how good we really are, and we'll never get rewarded for how bad we really are. So why does it matter what we do? I support black wrongs, but shit, white people got enough problems. They really don't need no help. They really don't need no help from us. That's why it's like, why not just we are so good at transmuting all the negative into good positive things for us, like black women, all the abuse, all the trauma, and look at us, the most successful, the most educated. We about to be the wealthiest group of people on this planet, the best mothers. Like, black women are just phenomenal, the trendsetters, the leaders, shit, the presidents, the first lady, the vice president. Like, black women dominate, and we transmute that negativity into positive things, no matter how we have to, but it's just because we have to. And I just think the glorification of white evil contributes to us not having the freedom. I wish I could find a term to, I think I was calling it like, I'm surprised I ain't look at my little notes this whole video, but it's like the savior pressure of, like, they want us to feel less than, but they also kind of ingrained and brainwashed us into like, well, you're God's chosen people, but you're chosen to suffer. So be happy that you're God's chosen people, right? You're chosen, but you're chosen to suffer. Y'all race of people, y'all just dark and y'all did something that we don't know, but the punishment is valid, right? Slavery and all this trauma and pain we inflict is valid. And when I was saying earlier, like how we're not desensitized to it, we never got desensitized to it because they're still traumatizing us. So when they release these slave movies and these shows and all of these horrors, we're constantly traumatized. Our bodies are still in the street, still in the street. And they tried to desensitize us by posting it on TV. So when the police would kill us, they tried to post it on TV to desensitize us, but it really didn't work on most of us. It worked on some, because then when that little black boy, that poor baby, fell off of that ride at Six Flags, I think people were spreading the video all online, like they were desensitized to a black child literally Until this day, I have yet to ever see any type of white victim or white child or white body, period, be displayed on the news, on TV, on the internet in any type of way when it happens. Never have I seen a white body. Never. But it's because they would be sensitive to white bodies. It's the black bodies they want us to be desensitized to. It's the black violence they want us to be used to. They don't want us to be used to that to white violence, even though it's in their DNA and it's in their nature. War, chaos, destruction, colonization is them, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna wrap it up there, cherry pies, because I think I'm just rambling at this point. It wasn't very well put together, but it was on topic. We was on topic. I just wanted to throw something in there about Carly since she did she did get sentenced, and I didn't find out about the case till she got sentenced. So this is my first time hearing about her. All right, bye, cherry pies.